All right, so the Department of Homeland Security will reportedly not move forward with plans to construct a massive ICE detention center in Merrimack, New Hampshire, after protests and public debate erupted over the proposed facility. The state's Republican governor, Kelly Ayotte, announced the news yesterday, saying she engaged directly with the Trump administration about the matter during her recent trip to D.C. for a gathering of the nation's governors. The Democratic congresswoman who represents the district, Maggie Goodlander, called the plan to build the center, quote, half-baked, dangerous, and un-American. There are many other detention centers still in the planning or being built at this moment. Congressman Goodlander joins us now. She's a member of the Armed Services Committee. So tell us why you did not want this built in your district and what was un-American about it.
Well, thanks so much for having me, Mika. Look, this was a campaign, a $38 billion campaign that the Department of Homeland Security launched on Christmas Eve. The idea behind this campaign was to commandeer industrial warehouses across America and use these warehouses to detain human beings. The news broke on December 24th. The administration compared this to Amazon Prime. They said, we want to bring more efficiency and run our detention program like Amazon Prime is run. The reaction from the people of New Hampshire was immediate and swift. This is not who we are as a country. We are not a country that should be detaining human beings in industrial warehouses. And look, this was going to be a big hit to the taxpayers. So we had bipartisan support for this effort to speak with one voice, to say, not in New Hampshire and not in America.
So, and is that what it's going to take? And perhaps it's a good sign that Republicans, at least, have gotten involved on this issue and not just in New Hampshire.
That's right. I think it is a good sign. Look, at the end of the day, people in my state across this country are feeling a lot of pain. The costs have never been higher. The idea of taxpayer dollars going towards a half-baked campaign from this Department of Homeland Security, a campaign that was really, at the end of the day, going to be a huge hit to local law enforcement, to state law enforcement, and to any hope of economic development in many parts of my state. This is a common sense approach that should bring everybody together. We all want to see our immigration laws enforced with professionalism, with transparency, and with accountability. But that's just not what we have in this department. They are proceeding in a secretive way that undermines public trust, and public trust is what public safety depends on at the end of the day.
So, Congresswoman, there's been pushback to these sorts of facilities in a couple different states across the country. Also, New Hampshire is not a state that has gotten a lot of attention in terms of like where there would be ICE operations. Tell us what you've learned there, perhaps about DHS planning, and also the importance of the fact that a Republican governor also stepped up and said, hey, we're not sure about this.
You know, in New Hampshire, when I talk to our police chiefs all across the state, when I talk to our sheriffs, our state police, their focus right now is recruiting and retaining talent to be able to do their mission-critical jobs. They operate at high standards of professionalism. They operate transparently, and there's accountability for these folks in enforcing the law. I think there's a real concern that at a moment when we're trying to staff our police departments, trying to staff our fire departments, trying to staff our prisons, we've got a 47% vacancy rate in New Hampshire with our correctional officers in prisons. That really puts public servants and people in real peril. And this effort, this campaign, which has been conducted secretly, has undermined everybody's trust, because at the end of the day, we need transparency, and governing is a team effort. When local and state officials are kept in the dark, it hurts everybody. And I think that became crystal clear to our communities in New Hampshire. And we heard from people all across our state about this campaign.
Congresswoman, what guardrails do you support enacting on DHS and ICE? Some Democrats want to see ICE abolished. Others simply want guardrails. What are you looking for?
Really, at the end of the day, I think like most Americans, I want to see our immigration laws enforced in a reasonable way, in a transparent way, and in an accountable way. So we're asking for really to fill massive gaps in the way that ICE and CBP are operating. A reasonable use of force standard, a prohibition on masked and unidentified agents. You know, this has been a major problem even in my state, where I get videos from constituents, photographs of masked agents. It's not clear if these are federal agents or vigilantes, and that undermines public trust. We want to see judicial warrants before ICE or any federal law enforcement officer enters the home of an American citizen. These are common sense guardrails that are going to put the power back where it belongs, at the local level and in a way that's balanced. This is what our whole system depends on. So what we're asking for are reasonable, common sense guardrails that are designed and will keep our communities more safe. You know, no one wants to see another American citizen shot dead by masked agents in broad daylight. No one wants to see that. And these guardrails are going to rein in the chaos. And these guardrails are going to make us safer.
All right, Democratic Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander of New Hampshire, thank you very much for coming on the show today. We really appreciate it. All right, take care. Mara